I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Lindsay.
And this is What Makes You Fangirl, the podcast where we deep dive into all things One Direction and unpack the moments that turned us into lifelong fangirls.
Throughout the series, we are following One Direction from their X Factor beginnings to global superstardom, unpacking albums, inside jokes, and the chaos that made history in a nostalgic rewind for anyone who's ever loved something a little too much.
Before we dive in, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening so you never miss an episode. You can also find us on Instagram at What Makes You Fangirl and on TikTok at WMYF Podcast for clips, updates, and bonus content.
Yes, indeed. Last episode, we stepped into the 4 era, a softer, more emotional chapter, a little less chaotic, more introspection, and in hindsight, the beginning of a major shift.
Yeah, 4 felt like a turning point. The music was more personal. You could start to feel them growing into themselves, not just as a band, but as individuals.
But while things may have seemed more grounded on the surface, behind the scenes, cracks were starting to form.
Today, we are entering 2015, the On the Road Again tour, and the moment that completely changed One Direction forever.
Everyone remembers what that is. But before we get into all of that, let's kick off with our favorite segment, What Makes You Fangirl, this week.
As always, this is where we fangirl about our current obsessions, small or big. Think of it as a little warm-up before we dive back into One Direction's history. So, Lindsay, what's making you fangirl this week?
I feel like the biggest thing that's been on my mind outside of like the One Direction boys, because these
They're all
days
doing
they're
things,
everywhere. It's too much. It's too much with Niall's album, Harry's album, Zayn's album, Louis'
album and tour.
Yeah, there's like so much going on. I can't even think about it. But we've talked a little bit about those. So the other thing that has been on my mind recently is the new Spider-Man movie trailer. You and I both love Spider-Man.
Yes.
And the Tom Holland movies are my favorite.
Yeah.
Like I like Tobey Maguire's, I like Andrew Garfield's, but the Tom Holland ones are just like top tier. I feel like also because it's like MCU Spider-Man where the other ones
aren't, yeah.
So the fact that like this Spider-Man ties into the other MCU and has the connections with Iron Man and everything, it makes it more well-rounded. And I think that Tom Holland is just like a really good Spider-Man. He's so
good. He really
good.
is. Oh, I love Tom Holland.
He's so good. He's so cute. But so the trailer for the, what is this, the fourth one of his franchise? Crazy. That trailer dropped recently and it comes out this summer. And it was so good. Like the trailer is one of the best trailers I've seen in a while.
Literally. I've watched it so many times.
Yeah, it was just all the little Easter eggs of like, you know, the different villains that show up people that we recognize, new people as well. And then you've got like, I know she wasn't actually in the trailer, but like I know Sadie Sink is in this movie, so like people are like, there's one screen moment where there's like a character with like a hood up from the back and everyone's like, that's Sadie Sink. And so everyone's trying to figure out if she's playing, like people are saying she's playing Jean Grey, which would be like X-Men intro into this world. Because I don't think they've been introduced yet, but they like, I know that they're going to be.
It could
so
be.
It's a whole thing that like people are like, oh, is she playing Jean Grey? But like, is she a villain? So then like, who knows?
Yeah.
And then obviously you've got the continued drama of like, he's in love with MJ, but MJ doesn't remember him. But it's honestly, it's everything you want from Spider-Man. He's like sad and yearning. Like that's the Spider-Man we know and love.
I'm so excited. Literally so excited.
It's so good. I'm so excited. Also, you know, just so we can tie it back into One Direction, as always, what I thought was, we texted about this, but apparently Louis Tomlinson just followed Tom Holland on Instagram. We were like, maybe he's trying to get like an invite to the premiere for like his son, if his son's into Spider-Man. Also, Louis likes Spider-Man, but it's just funny.
But his son is at like prime.
Worlds colliding.
Super,
yeah, Freddie probably is enjoying
superhero
the Spider-Man
age,
movies. Yeah, totally. But that comes out, I think it's July 31st, so
I wish it was slightly sooner because then we could have went and watched it together while I'm
Oh my god, I know. Yeah, if it was like earlier in July. Alas.
It's fine.
It'll be good. It'll be so fun.
Yeah.
It's something to look forward to, like midsummer. I feel like summer is always a hard season because it's hot and whatever. But that'll be something to look forward to. And then like we get Hunger Games in the fall. So like there's some good movies coming up.
Yeah.
Like we're
exciting.
ready. We're stacked. So that's it. That's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to see more content that, any more trailers that come in
Yep.
the lead up. Like, I also love all the little Easter eggs, like with, in the scene in the trailer when Peter is at MJ's apartment, I guess. And in the background, you can see like a sort of like a clue board with Spider-Man on it. So it's like, is MJ like remembering things? Is she trying to figure it out? Because in the previous movies, she like
Yeah.
watched Peter's character. She watched Peter and she figured out that he was Spider-Man. So maybe she's like doing it again
Yeah.
low key.
Doing it
But
again.
like,
Yeah.
maybe she also has something in the back of her mind, even though her memory was erased, where she's like, something's like missing. I need that. I need that. And Ned too. Maybe he's like part of
Yeah.
that as well. But
Yeah. I mean, they have to like, by the end of the movie, like,
they better.
because if I have to wait many more years for a conclusion to that,
Yeah.
I would not be happy. So
So
they need to do
that'll be
that.
really good. It'll be the perfect amount of like superhero action, but also yearning, mystery, and also funny. Those are always funny movies.
Yeah.
Like in the trailer, in that scene where like you can see the stuff in the background when she's talking to Peter and he's like meeting her for the first time. And she's like, oh, like you got me flowers. And he's like, oh, just like a housewarming gift. I'm your neighbor. And she's like, friendly neighbor. And he's like,
And he's like,
because friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Anyway, love. Excited for it. Also excited to continue to watch the Tom Dea relationship unfold in real life.
mother and
Do we think
father,
they're married?
royal wedding. I would, I don't
Like,
know.
people are saying yes, but also we haven't gotten like a real
A
confirmation.
confirmation, but also like, will we? Because they're very private
True.
for the
I don't
most
know.
part. So
Good
I
for
don't
them,
know.
though. Good
I
for
love
them.
them.
Love them. Anyway, that's it. Spider-Man, excited for it. What are you fangirling about right now?
I'm fangirling over the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special on Disney. That was so fun. I went to a like watch party, but it was also like a junk journaling event.
Oh,
And
that's
we
cute.
got like little like ephemera packs to like use in our junk journals. And it was like OG
I love
stuff.
that.
Like they scoured the internet and found like original like stickers and
That's
like
so
little
cool.
card packs. Yeah, it was super fun. And then we were able to watch the special and it was really emotional. I kind of wanted more from it. Like
That's what people have been saying.
yeah, and I feel like that's the general, consensus that we
Yeah.
wish there was more from it. There was a couple things that I was like, what does this have to do with Hannah Montana, namely Chapel Roan? I was like, okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So despite like when this was announced, I was really excited about it. I think we talked about it on this podcast in our thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this is coming. This is
Yeah.
exciting. Despite that, I have not watched it yet.
I mean, if I'm being honest, if I didn't have that event, I probably wouldn't have like watched it on my own after seeing like what people said
Like,
about it.
I was going to, but then like, so it came out on a Tuesday, and that's like a hard day because like, I have to go into work and
Yeah.
whatever. But then even in the evening, I actually had plans for once. So I like didn't have an appropriate amount of time to just like sit and dedicate to it. And I really haven't like since Tuesday when it came out. So I'm sure I'll get to it this weekend. But I started seeing what everyone was saying about it. And it's not that people are upset. Like people are like, oh, it's fine. It's like
Yeah.
cute. But what I heard and what I'm getting from people's reactions is that it felt very surface level.
Yeah.
Like they could have
Absolutely.
gone much deeper
Oh,
for
for
something
sure.
that's like that important and has a lot of nostalgia tied into it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Emily Osment and Mitchell Musso weren't involved at
Yeah.
all is crazy. I know like, they each have things going on, I'm sure. Like Emily said she couldn't go to the premiere because she was filming and
Yeah.
like that's fine, but I just feel like I don't know, it was the lack of involvement of the cast. Like even like Jason Earls
Said he wasn't even
why
like
wasn't
invited.
he
Yeah.
in it?
Yeah.
Like
Like why
he's
couldn't have they
free.
talked? Yeah.
He has a podcast about Hannah Montana and you're not
Yeah.
gonna have him in the special?
And he was a huge part of Hannah Montana.
Yeah. Like that would have been, even if you don't have Emily or Mitchell, like if you could
Yeah.
have Jason Earls like as the brother and sister thing, like that would have been
Yeah.
so good. And I just feel like no hate to Alex Cooper, like she's a great interviewer. I've watched
Yeah.
Call Her Daddy many times, but I just feel like it was a weird fit. Like, why wouldn't they choose Jason Earls to interview her and also like give his takes on it? Or just, I don't know. And then like Alex Cooper's whole, I'm not blaming anyone for their lack of memories for knowledge, but just the fact that it came out like she was a big fan, but then she doesn't remember the lyrics to her favorite song. And it's like, if you're going to be the interviewer for this like really important thing,
Yeah.
you should probably have all the knowledge that you
Yeah.
can. And then
But
with
also,
like
like,
Chapel Roan, it's like,
yeah,
okay,
that was
I'm sure
so
she like grew
random.
up on Hannah Montana and like got inspired from her, but it still doesn't feel
Like,
it
what?
it's like, why?
Yeah, it was weird. It was just very random. She was like, "Oh, I hear heel." Like the whole thing, it was like, "Oh, I hear heels that are not mine. Who is it?" Like, and like it was like a big reveal, and everyone was like, "What?"
Like the one that makes sense is Selena Gomez because she
Yeah.
was from the era. She was on the show as Michaela.
Yeah.
Like that one made sense. But even I saw the clip of that, and if that was it, like it was very short too.
Yeah,
So it's
it was
like
very short.
very surface level everything.
And I'm like, they should have had more like cast members
Yeah.
come and like talk about their time on the show. It's
Yeah.
very suspicious that, you know, no other cast member besides her father and Selena Gomez
Yeah.
were there. Is like,
And it's kind of like,
is there
like I know it's like Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus is like the character, but Hannah Montana as a show had many other characters and many other plot lines going on. It's not just about Miley/Hannah.
Yeah.
I get that she's the most important one, but like we have other avenues we can explore. And I also feel like she sang what, 3 songs? Like
Yeah.
there could have been a little bit more.
Yeah. Her new song, the
Younger
You, it was really emotional.
Yeah.
Like I started tearing up when she was playing that one. But like, yeah, the whole thing, it just felt like there could be more.
Yeah. And like this wasn't, you know, part of the special specifically. It was like an adjacent event, but just like in terms of lack of attention to detail or depth. Like, I don't know if you saw the Starbucks partnership that they did, or like a little Starbucks had like a drink for Hannah Montana, and the drink had like raspberry cold foam or something on it. And there's quite literally an entire episode of Hannah Montana about how she vomits when she smells raspberries or eats raspberries. She hates them. And I'm like, this character hates raspberries, and you're gonna make a drink with a raspberry thing? It's the lack of attention to detail for me.
Yeah.
Especially when Loco Hot Cocoa was right there. Like,
yeah. Literally.
Why are we not doing that?
I feel like it was just maybe thrown together.
Yeah, that's
too
what I was
quickly.
thinking too, is like Miley said she like, and like good on her that she just like started talking about it to make it a thing, and like I like that, but you know, I feel like
she didn't start soon enough.
Yeah. And but even so, it's like this is Disney, like you can move mountains. Let's
for real.
Come on, let's do it. Also, I think it's so funny, and this might be because of like, you know, dating in the past, and I don't know, I hope everyone's past their like teenage beef, but I think it's hilarious that the Jonas Brothers weren't involved, considering how much they love to profit off nostalgia and like cross promote things. Like
she talked about Nick and the Jonas Brothers.
See, and they were mentioned, and yet why were they not there? Because they were on the show. They have history with Disney and with Miley specifically.
They went on tour together.
They have Camp Rock coming out this summer, and you're saying that's not an opportunity to also like promote the new Camp Rock while looking back on like memories of Hannah Montana, Camp Rock, etc. And yeah, like I said, quite literally, the Jonas Brothers, no shade to them, I'm here for it, but they take every single opportunity to profit off of nostalgia. So the fact that they weren't there is funny too. Because I'm like...
Because there was a whole section about... Because they went on tour together.
Yeah,
she was saying like she wanted it to happen because Nick was her boyfriend, so she wanted to be on tour with her boyfriend.
And
but I'm like, clearly there's
now?
not like extreme bad blood because...
No, I feel like they've all moved past it.
Yeah. And like Demi came out and sang with them, and I feel like that was more of a like...
Yeah, that was like...
steady relationship other than they were teenage, you know, romance, Nick and Miley were. So like...
True.
If they have bad blood from being teenagers.
I sure hope not.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have yet to watch it, so all of my opinions are based on things that I've seen online and like other people talking about it. I will get to it.
I
will get to it. I will say the video of Miley doing the like where they put old Miley doing the Disney thing, and then like Miley today did it again. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, where she's like, I'm Miley Cyrus, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Yep.
With the little
Yeah.
mouse
And she did
wand.
the like when she walked out the door for the last time.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
then once
yeah.
she did that again.
That's how I look every time I leave my apartment
I
and
was
have to go
also really
outside.
surprised that her dad
Me
was
too, because
there.
don't they have problems?
Yeah, he think he has problems, but
Well, yeah. But, like, I'm surprised that she, like, wanted
and
him
she
there.
said in like I can't remember the exact like sentence she said, but she's like, I made him get his hair cut for this. And I was like, she said, you're not gonna come in here
Looking
looking
ratty.
but his hair was still long and he
Yeah.
was cleaned up a little bit more, but I was like,
Yeah. Interesting times. Yeah, I will watch it. I will get to it. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. I have some time, so we shall see. But regardless, I'm not saying it was and you're not saying it was bad.
yeah.
Like, it was
No,
just,
like I enjoyed it. I
yeah.
just there's a aspect of like wanting more that we
Yeah,
didn't get.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. But good times. Hannah Montana, 20 years. Crazy. We're old. So
We're so old.
speaking of old and how far it's, how many years have passed since this time, let's kick it back. Let's set the scene. It's early 2015. One Direction is coming off the release of 4, so they're still at the absolute peak of their career.
Yep, and the album debuted at number 1. They're still the biggest band in the world, and in February they kicked off their stadium tour, the On the Road Again tour, or OTRA, if you will.
Yes, OTRA. And on paper, everything still looks pretty perfect. Like, they're selling out stadiums again, the fandom is still massive, the demand is still very insane.
But if you look a little closer, the energy is slightly different. It's subtle, but it's there. It's less chaotic than Where We Are tour, less like this huge explosive moment, and more like they're just continuing forward.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because they're tired. Like, I do not blame them. At
Yep.
this point, they've quite literally been going nonstop for 5 years. It's album tour, promo, repeat, album tour, promo, repeat, album tour, promo, repeat. Like, they hardly ever take
With
breaks.
maybe like a month of break in between.
Yeah.
You can also start to feel them pulling into themselves a bit more as individuals. Like we talked about in the last episode, they're growing up, figuring out who they are outside of the band.
Yeah. And for Zayn specifically, that distance feels a little more noticeable. He's always been more private, but during this time, it starts to feel like he's a little bit more checked out. But before we get into that, let's talk about the tour.
So the On the Road Again tour starts in February of 2015, and it's another massive stadium tour. They're still operating at the highest possible level.
Yeah, this is their second all-stadium tour, and it's huge. It ends up running from February all the way through October 2015 with 77 shows total.
And we're not talking small numbers either. The tour grosses over $200 million and sells more than 2.3 million tickets.
Which makes it the second highest grossing tour of the entire year, which second behind Taylor Swift's 1989 tour.
And it's global in a very real way. They are hitting Australia, Asia, Africa, Europe, North America. This is a full world tour.
Also worth noting, this is the first time they're performing in some of these countries like South Africa or the UAE, which just shows how massive their reach had become at this point.
Yeah, and the shows themselves are kind of a mix of everything they've built. You've got 4 songs, but also Midnight Memories, Take Me Home, and Up All Night. It's very much a career-spanning set list.
Yeah, it's like a greatest hits moment. You've got big stadium anthems like Midnight Memories and Best Song Ever, but you've also got the emotional songs, Night Changes, 18, Little Things.
Plus, you have fan favorites like Stockholm Syndrome, Clouds, and No Control making their way in.
Yes, and they're also switching things up throughout the tour, as kind of always, adding songs, removing songs, doing little covers and one-off moments depending on the city.
So on the surface, everything still feels massive. The demand is there, the shows are selling out, the fans are still showing up in full force.
But like we said, compared to where we are, just feels like a little different. The energy's different. Again, not necessarily bad, not necessarily crazy. It's just like, they've done it before, so they're continuing forward. And then there's just like the vibe of them growing up. And it's just like the balance of trying to figure out what that means, like why it's
Yep.
different.
Yep. It's still big, but it feels more routine. Like they've done this before. They know exactly how it works. And like we said, that's not a bad thing, but it does take away a little bit of that chaotic energy.
Yeah. So 1 month of the tour goes by. Solid shows, heavy demand, same old. And then we hit mid-March, and this is where things start to feel not subtle anymore.
On March 19th, after their show in Hong Kong, it's announced that Zayn is leaving the tour. The band is in Asia at this point, and suddenly there's a statement saying that Zayn is flying home due to stress.
Yeah. And the way it's presented at this time is very much like he just needs a break.
Yeah, it's framed as temporary, like he's going home to rest, he'll be back soon. At the time, fans mostly believed that. He's always had anxiety, he's overwhelmed. That all makes sense. He'll rejoin in a few days. And I remember vividly tweeting like hope you feel better, like
yeah, like love you,
can't wait.
Zayn,
I
feel
hope
better.
you're back. Yeah, I hope you're back by the time like my show comes cuz
Yeah.
I want to see you.
Yep.
Subtle foreshadowing.
Disappointing. So behind the scenes, there's a lot going on, multiple layers of pressure that are building all at once.
Yeah, exactly. There's also public relationship drama with Perry Edwards. There were always rumors about their relationship being rocky, and just a few days prior to this, Zayn had defensively tweeted, quote, "I'm 22, I love a girl named Perry Edwards, and there's a lot of jealous Fs in this world. I'm sorry for what it looks like." And then a little kiss.
Kissy, yeah.
Fans were dissecting that media outlets ran headlines about tension between them, and it felt like everyone was watching his personal life constantly.
Yeah. And then past moments that we talked about last time, or one of the previous times, are coming back to haunt him because their next tour stop was in the Philippines, and the authorities actually imposed a $5,000 bond on him and Louis because of the weed video from 2014.
Well, what that means, the authorities said, "We're letting you into this country, but you need to promise not to break the law. If you do, you forfeit this money." So if they were caught using drugs while in the Philippines, you're going to be charged.
Yeah, which is wild. So the band was just trying to play shows, and Zayn is under this constant microscope, media coverage, fan speculation, and even government scrutiny.
So it wasn't just the tour, it was everything piling up at once, the grueling travel schedule, nonstop performances, personal relationships in the spotlight, and being a public figure at the age of 22.
Yeah, all of it together makes that mid-March break feel almost inevitable. Like the stress wasn't just backstage, it was 24/7 online, in real life, everywhere.
And then he misses one show, and then another, and then another.
And that's when it starts to feel different. It's not just a quick little de-stressor break. There's no clear timeline. There's no updates beyond like, oh, he's resting.
And meanwhile, the band just keeps going. They continue the tour as four. Harry and Liam pick up a lot of his parts, and Niall fills in too.
Yeah.
But they just kept going.
Yep. No stop for them. No time to process. They were just going. And fans are confused. They're not like panicking yet, like not fully, but definitely sensing that something isn't right. And it's that uneasy feeling where you don't know what's happening, but you know it's not normal. And looking back, all these stressors really set the stage for what came next.
And then March 25th. March 25th, 2015. Every Directioner knows exactly where they were.
Yeah. So One Direction posts a statement. Zayn is leaving the band. Not taking a break, not stepping away temporarily, leaving, full stop.
That's it. And it feels so sudden. I know he was on a break, but there really wasn't any buildup, no warning, just this post, and suddenly everything's different.
Yes, so I will read the statement. Everyone, please hold. Okay, the statement reads, After 5 incredible years, Zayn Malik has decided to leave One Direction. Niall, Harry, Liam, and Louis will continue as a four-piece and look forward to the forthcoming concerts of their world tour and recording their 5th album, due to be released later this year. And then there's like 3 different sections of like Zayn says, they say, Simon Cowell says. So Zayn says, "My life with One Direction has been more than I could ever have imagined, but after 5 years, I feel like it is now the right time for me to leave the band. I'd like to apologize to the fans if I've let anyone down, but I have to do what feels right in my heart. I am leaving because I want to be a normal 22-year-old who is able to relax and have some private time out of the spotlight. I know I have 4 friends for life in Louis, Liam, Harry, and Niall. I know they will continue to be the best band in the world. Then, One Direction, as a whole, says, we're really sad to see Zayn go, but we totally respect his decision and send him all our love for the future. The past 5 years have been beyond amazing. We've gone through so much together, so we will always be friends. The 4 of us will continue. Well, now continue. We're looking forward to recording the new album and seeing all the fans on the next stage of the world tour. And then lastly, they have a Simon Cowell input as well.
Which is crazy.
Simon Cowell says, I would like to say thank you to Zayn for everything he has done for One Direction. Since I first met Zayn in 2010, I have grown very, very fond and immensely proud of him. I have seen him grow in confidence and am truly sorry to see him leave. As for One Direction, fans can rest assured that Niall, Liam, Harry, and Louis are hugely excited about the future of the band. Period.
That's it.
That's it.
So lots to unpack here. One, he didn't want to be a normal 22-year-old. He wanted to be a solo artist. 2, he and the rest of the band did not remain friends. This created a rift between them. 3, excited about the future of the band is a bit misleading, considering at this point they probably knew a formal breakup was now impending.
Yeah, but we didn't know all that at the time this statement
Nope.
was made. And with his recent public struggles, lifelong anxiety, and break from the tour, it's not insane that this could be happening. Shocking to the fans, but not completely out of pocket.
The timing was also part of the shock because they were in the middle of a world tour. There's no final show, no goodbye moment, no closure.
Yeah, the last time all 5 of them performed together, no one knew it was the last time.
So crazy.
It's not even like he waited until the end of a tour. Like,
yeah. It was just, bye. And the reaction online was immediate. Twitter exploded. It was trending worldwide within minutes. And a lot of people thought it was fake at first and turned into a full chaos. Tumblr, Twitter, everything. People were just they were just spiraling.
Yeah.
Also, to mention, this was a Facebook post.
Yeah.
Like, we really need to hit, it was a Facebook post.
Yep. Nothing, just post on Facebook, random day, March 25th, and that was it.
Yep.
And it was like this collective grief was happening in real time. You go from denial of like, oh no, he'll come back, to shock, to pure devastation, and also confusion because like we're trying to understand why. Like, why this is happening, why now? Because again, it felt like weird timing. Like, why would you do it 1 month into a tour instead of like waiting it out, or why'd you
or
even go on
before
the
the
tour?
tour started?
Yeah,
Yeah, because up until this point, One Direction seemed unstoppable, and suddenly that wasn't the case anymore.
Yeah, they were unstoppable, and then they stopped.
Yeah.
And we all remember where we were when that happened. It's one of those moments where you just like, if you were a Directioner, you remember that moment
exactly.
vividly. It's like, I mean, okay, not to compare it to major world events, but like you ask anyone who was alive in September 2001 and they can tell you what they were doing.
Yeah.
When certain events unfolded. And it was like a similar phenomenon of like, this thing was so important to us that when this major moment happened, everyone remembers where they were. So what were you doing?
I was in U.S. history in my junior year of high school. So what was I, probably almost 17 at this point. I was at a new school. Like, I had just started at this school and I didn't know anyone but one person. She was not in this class with me, so really knew nobody. And I get the notification on my phone and I immediately start crying. But I'm like trying to like keep it discreet because I'm at a new school with people I do not
Everyone's
know.
like, ooh, what is this girl doing?
Yeah. And so like I'm like silently like crying. And I was a very like quiet person in the back of the room anyway, so like it wasn't too hard to like pretend I was okay, but
yeah,
I really was not. And I was heading into my least favorite class afterwards, which was geometry, I think, whatever math class. And I hated that class because the teacher was not kind. And so I texted my dad. And thankfully the class that I was in, the like US history class, like the teacher was really cool. Like he didn't care if we had our phones out as long as we were like working. So I'm texting my dad. I'm like, Dad, I need you to come pick me up from school immediately. And he was like, why? What's wrong? And I was like, Zayn left. It's so funny looking back. I'm like, Zayn left One Direction and I'm not okay. And he was super like sympathetic and empathetic about it. But he was like, absolutely not. You're staying at school. And so I cried the whole day. But at lunch, we had like student DJs that would like play music
That's
in
hilarious.
the quad. Yeah. And there was this one guy that was like a part of this like group or whatever. And he really wanted to be Harry. Like,
I mean, who doesn't?
yeah, but he like grew his hair out and like dressed just like him. Like he wanted to be Harry. I
That's
love that guy. I wonder how he's doing these days.
strange. Yeah, hopefully he's doing well.
But he found it to be a good time to play One Direction songs
Did he know?
throughout yes.
Okay.
So clearly he wasn't like, maybe he was a fan, but
he wasn't like
clearly he wasn't
emotionally
like
invested.
distraught.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he just like only liked Harry because he only dressed like Harry anyways. But he played One Direction the entire lunch, and I'm like, this is just rubbing salt into my wound. I was distraught and crying the whole day, and this guy is playing every
He's
sad
playing
One Direction
moments.
song. Literally.
As you're sitting there sobbing. Tears streaming down your face. Just
and like
as the
obviously
lyrics say.
everyone's talking about it because we're all high school age.
teenagers,
like everyone knows One Direction. So everyone's talking about it. And I'm like, you guys don't get it. You guys are not as upset as me.
You guys are not as upset as me. I'm the #1 fan. You don't get it. You don't know my pain. Yeah, totally.
I was like, y'all are fake. You're not as sad as you're leading it out to be, as I'm like full sob. Anyways, that was my story. Very
fake
traumatic
fans. Day. Yeah, it was a traumatic day. It really was. I was also in my junior year of high school. I was in Algebra 2 trigonometry class taking a practice ACT test. So I was not on my phone when this happened. Maybe for the best. I don't know. But I was locked in taking this practice ACT. Yeah, my friend Lauren, shout out, Queen, she was sitting next to me. And I think that she had like, she was also taking the practice ACT, but it was practice. It wasn't like a legitimate exam. So I think she had her like phone like under the table, slyly checking it for different things. And she leaned over and whispers, Zayn left 1D. And I was like, that's not funny. I'm taking a test. Like, shut up. I'm locked in right now. How dare you do that? Don't distract me. So I like continue with my test. And I was like, what was that? That was weird. I don't believe you. Yeah. And then when I finished the test, I checked my phone and I saw the Facebook post. Insane. So I think I was in shock. Like, I didn't immediately cry or anything. I think I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And then the context of my high school, which is different in comparison to yours, which is funny. Yeah. I went to an all-girls high school. And I remember like going out into the hall and it just felt like really bleak. Like the energy was just like off because everyone knew. And it was an all-girls school. Like, I'm not saying everyone was a fan, but like there were a lot of One Direction fans in the school. And there were groups of girls like huddled by the lockers, like whispering. It was like really weird energy. And yeah, I feel like I don't think I cried at school though. Like I think I was just in shock.
Yeah.
But I remember specifically when I drove home that I was crying in the car. Like I was sobbing. Can't remember if I like played One Direction and like sobbed to that or if I just didn't listen to anything. But I know I was crying. And then I got home and every day after school I would get a little snack, look in the fridge or whatever. And I remember I was in the fridge like crying still. And my mom like came into the kitchen and I had like tears running down my face. And she was like, oh my God, like who died? Like what is going on? And I was like, Zayn left One Direction. And she was like, girl,
be so for real.
Be so for real. Like, I mean, she saw that it was hurting me and, she's sympathetic as much as she could be without like, fully understanding it. But yeah, she didn't realize that it was the end of the world to me personally. Because I was like, what does this mean? I think for a lot of us,
life
it was
has
like
no meaning anymore.
Yeah. But I think like for all of us, it was just like we knew then that like One Direction could end. Like it was always on such a high before that it was just like the energy just kept going and going and going and the albums kept coming and we were like, oh yes, this is it. Like life is great. Like we're gonna live forever. This is gonna go on for years and years and years and years and years. And then this happens and we're like, wait, this can stop. This can end and it might.
I have goosebumps right now.
It was
like,
a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah, it was
Also,
very
we should mention, because it makes me laugh every time,
every
the
time.
Kevin Hart reaction.
We gotta play it.
Yeah, we'll play. I don't even know. I think it was a movie premiere. I don't even know the full context. I think he was at a movie premiere, and one of the interviewers asks, like, basically is like, so Zayn left One Direction. What do you think about that? And we'll play it.
It's so good.
And this is how all of us felt, to be honest. He was really, he understood.
This was everyone's internal feelings for sure.
I'm gonna play weird because it's not on like a full video, whatever.
It's fine.
Okay.
One of the band members is leaving. What? What? Who do you think Tim! Did you hear One Direction is breaking up? You sold me. Hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
When? Why? Time out. Wait a minute. I can't do this premiere. I can't do this premiere. Tip, which one is Zayn? Zayn. Oh, Zayn. Okay. Wait, is this final?
It's so funny.
And like low-key, like they probably don't even care. Like they were just doing it for the bit.
Yeah.
But it makes me laugh every time.
Every single time.
Because that's truly how I felt when he's like, what? And then like what I think is also crazy is obviously he was just like playing into it, but he was like, One Direction's breaking up, and we were like, hold the phone. No one said that.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. So good times. Good reactions. But yeah, everyone remembers where they were. If you're watching this and you remember where you were, let us know.
Let us know. Let us know. We want to know where you were on March 25th,
2015.
Which was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Like
we're filming this on March 28th.
11 years ago.
Yeah. It was 11 years ago, almost to the day.
Oh, God. So what happened after that? The craziest part is the tour didn't stop. There's no long pause, no reset. They just kept going as a 4-piece.
Yeah. And those first performances without Zayn, you can feel it. Fans are analyzing everything, who's singing what, how the songs sound, what feels different.
And it does feel different now. There's this one moment where they sit on the steps and Harry leaves a space for where Zayn would normally sit and then awkwardly shifts over to close the gap. It's subtle, but you can feel the absence. They're all so used to having an extra person on the stage. Yeah. And it's just like muscle memory at this point to now having to be like, that's not there anymore. We have to fill it in.
Mm-hmm. And they had to like fill in for his voice too, which as everyone knows, Zayn had a very unique voice and he was very important to hitting many of the notes in there. Obviously, like Liam could do it for the most part, but it's still just different. And the fact that they had to like learn it too to like change it up while they were processing their own emotions. Like if you think about that, they like just lost a friend and they still have to go to work and do everything and more because they have to learn new parts.
Yeah.
So,
and they didn't even like have it was just like one day he's gone, the next, okay, now everyone fill in for his lines and figure that out quickly because you got a show coming up type situation. Like
the fact that we'll talk about that later because some of them were, but like the fact that they weren't super psychologically like messed up from this work schedule and then also dealing with this while still working is crazy. But to be fair, some of them were in fact messed up from it.
Yeah.
But on a positive note, you also get a lot of moments where the crowd is louder than ever because the fans are like trying to fill the space. And I think that that's really sweet.
Yeah. But this is when it really starts to sink in that this isn't temporary. This is the new version of One Direction.
Yeah. And it's still One Direction, but it's not the same.
It is not the same. And that's the first chapter of the On the Road Again tour. The surprises, the new dynamics, the band figuring out how to keep the show going as a 4-piece.
Yeah. Next episode, we're diving into everything that followed. Really good stuff. The fan reactions, the shifts in the shows, and yes, the Zooey Twitter fight that shook the fandom.
Yep.
Basically, everything from the last One Direction tour.
So make sure you're subscribed. And if you love this episode, like, rate, and follow the show wherever you listen. And don't forget to find us on Instagram at What Makes You Fangirl and on TikTok at WMYF podcast for clips, updates, and bonus content.
And while you're there, like we said, tell us where you were on March 25th, 2015.
Let us know.
Let us know. Or just what's making you fangirl this week. We want to hear it.
Yeah. And remember, life is too short not to freak out over the things you love. It's totally okay to fangirl a little too much.
And to cry when something drastic happens. Like
let the tears flow.
Leaving your favorite band of all time.
Cry. Do it. Your feelings are valid.
Let the tears stream down your face. Quote One Direction.
That's it for today. Bye.